Hey everybody, how's it going? I thought I would get my brand new free IR pack, Evil Chug, in a mix for you. And then afterwards we'll do a bit of cook sniffing, look through some cool plugins that I haven't used for quite a while, and we'll break things down. But first, here's a mix. So what I got there, guys, very simple mix. I was going for sort of a middle of the road groove metal thing, modern, but still sort of like a 20 years ago new wave of American metal type of thing. And I think I got there. And we'll get into what I used. So guitar number 1, I've got Evil Chug number 2 loaded into Pulse. Now Pulse by Ignite Amps is completely free. It's a completely free IR loader. And you'll see me using this a lot because it's got just the least amount of bells and whistles on it, whilst still having a nice interface. You know, NAD IR is great, but it does have a few other bells and whistles, and I'm tempted to, you know, start turning knobs and things like that, but I just want like a simple interface that gives me exactly what I need and nothing I don't, and I do like Pulse. So Evil Chug number 2, I mean, this is probably my favorite IR from the pack. It's the most balanced. Evil Chug number 1's a bit brighter, and Evil Chug number 3 is a bit darker. And if you don't know, these are captured in my PRS Mark Tremonti cab. It's a 1x12, and I put a Blackstar Blackbird 50 speaker in there. It's a very cheap speaker, but sounds pretty good. It's kind of got a lot of presence. Maybe that's like a flaw to some people, but I actually quite like the sound of it. And I captured it with a T-Bone SC140, which is a small diaphragm condenser. I covered this in my first video with Evil Chug. I will link that video below. Cool pack if you just want to try something that isn't a V30 and it doesn't sound like anything else out there. And I thought I'd, you know, experiment a little bit. I've got a gate here, effector silencer. I use it all the time, but I completely forgot about this plugin. This is the Sword by Audiority, and it was a collaboration between them and the Amsterdam Universe, and it is basically a, you know, graphic EQ. It's a 10 band, and you can use it however you want, but the aim with this is to use it as a clean boost before an amplifier. So I'm reducing low end here, boosting the mids a fair bit up to like 1K to get that kind of mid attack out of the guitar, subduing the highs a little bit, so it's, you know, it's kind of like a mid hump basically. Boosting the output a little bit, and it's got this boost section here so you can just boost your signal into the amp. Cool stuff, and I honestly completely forgot about this thing, but it's a nice alternative to a tube screamer if you want to tweak your DI basically going into an amp. Yeah, very nice stuff. Then I've got NAM loaded, Neural Amp Modeler. If you don't know about this, where have you been? It loads in NAM files. And this is a capture I did years ago at this point. This is from my Engel Fireball 25. And honestly, guys, I haven't been using this that much at all because I just don't think they sound that good, especially compared to what Pit Priss does, Tim R, all those guys over on Tone Hunt. They just load up amazing stuff and they got way better kit than me. And the way I captured these is I did it the way everyone else does it, but because I haven't got a load box, I can't load down from the speaker out of my amp. I just went with the effects send, which gives you the preamp out of the amp, so you're not going through the power section. And when you do that, it does sound a little bit more flat. It's a little bit more like papery sounding. I tweaked the EQ the best I could to get it sounding like how I use it at home, and it sounds okay. And I did a few captures, and these sound pretty good, but I think my first attempt, number 1, is probably the best sounding capture. So I use that for the left and the right. And then obviously I'm going into Evil Chug number 2 there. And something I've done a little bit differently on this one because I felt like these captures needed a bit more heft. Not so much the impulse responses, but just the NAM file just needed a bit more like chunk to it. So I've high passed to 90 Hertz. I've never done this before. I usually high pass to like what, 100, 120. But I felt the guitars were just a little bit thin, like slightly. So I just high passed to 90 instead. And I'm reducing minus 3.2 at 300 Hertz. Something I usually do. It hovers around -3, maybe -4. It really depends. It just gets rid of that woolly cloudiness. And then this stuff, I've done it a million times. Second guitar, it's kind of the same, except for I'm using Evil Chug number 3. Generally when mixing, it's just a preference of mine. On the left, I'll have the guitar just that little bit darker, so I'll go with the darker IR. This is all the same stuff. The sword is exactly the same settings, same NAM capture. There's no EQ going on, nothing like that. And the post EQ is pretty much the same. On the bus, I just took the high pass down to 90 where it was on the individual tracks as well. Doing the Anzi sneak trick here, and here I'm at 3.5K. It was doing a fair bit of whistling. This seems to be a problem area for most guitars I mix. So I'll just let you hear the guitars by themselves. As you can hear there, guys, it's a cool tone. I really like it. It sounds like my amp sounds, but it's just missing that extra little bit of coloration. And I've mixed them to sound as good as I can. They're quite saturated and lively, the way I like them to sound. And they have a decent amount of heft, but there's just that paperiness to the mids, which I don't like. It sounds a little bit artificial. I mean, it could be NAM, but I don't think so. I think it was just probably the way I captured them. But hey ho, best tone I could get. If you want these, they'll link below. And I do think they sound good in the mix. Bass, usual stuff, guys. Covered it a million times. Just try any of my mix breakdown videos and you'll probably see these plugins. And I explain a lot more about them there. Drums, ultimate heavy drums. If you're going for a modern sound that's kind of polished, so to speak, you know, these can't be beat. They're amazing. I think I'm using the Modern Metal 2 preset, but it's like heavily tweaked the snare and the kick drum and the reverb and stuff like that. Just a little low shelf there to keep the kick drum kind of tight. And on the master, I will link it below. I've covered that a million times on different videos. So yeah, guys, that is about it. A short one today. I just wanted to load up my old NAM captures and be like, right, let's use these again. Let's see if I can get a good mix out of them. And I think I did pretty well. And the Evil Chugs, I'm loving these IRs at the moment. Like, check them out below, guys. Enjoy! Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. And subscribe if you want to see more metal-related stuff. I'll be back sometime with a video on something else. So until then, ciao.